Wildlife photography can get a little monotonous sometimes, yet still, it seems as if even on the most ordinary of days, something always seems to surprise. Sigma sent me over the Sigma 60 to 600mm before release to test it out and see what I could capture with it. And as the day went on, my encounters got better and better, until finally I got an opportunity with a belted kingfisher I don't often get. So today I'm really excited because Sigma sent me over the world's first and only for mirrorless camera 60 to 600mm zoom lens, which gives it a 10 times focal reach. This thing is super unique in that it allows me to back all the way out and get wider shots of subjects and the landscape, and then pull all the way in and get amazing 600mm shots close up. So let's go test it out in the field today and see what we can get with it. This 60 to 600mm range is pretty unbelievable using it in person. The advantage of having such a wide variety of shots that I was able to capture really helped me set up the scene of each wildlife subject. Typically, I'd either be stuck at a constant telephoto focal length, which makes it difficult to set up my scenes properly, or I'd be stuck spending a minute to switch out my lenses to get an establishing shot. Now, I'm able to, with a turn of the ring, simply zoom in and out and grab a large diversity of shots. As I was testing out this feature of the lens, I had a really cool encounter with some common goldeneye males getting territorial and showing off for the females. So been in a little bit of some uncomfortable positions here just because of the discrepancy between the ground and the water, and so I can't get on my belly, so I'm kind of having to crouch and hold it over, and that's where the weight of this thing is really showing. This thing is pretty heavy, not gonna lie. It's 5.5 pounds, so it comes in pretty heavy, and it's almost double, or it feels almost double as heavy as my previous lens that I was using. But it's not the worst, and I really enjoy the fact that I get to have that 60 to 600mm focal range. It allows me in a bunch of these shots I've been getting here to pop completely close into the bird and then pull back all the way and get that mix of landscape and very nice up and close wildlife type shots of them. And I think what that does for me as a filmmaker and storyteller in wildlife photography is allows me to tell a bigger story, which I really like that I get to do that with this lens, rather than being limited to the typical 150 to 600 range or just a single 600 prime or 400 prime range. So I really like that all about this lens. So far it seems to be working really well in terms of image stabilization. The image stabilization is really awesome on this thing, and really does a great job of just kind of keeping the shot steady. I think it has 6 stops of image stabilization on the far end, and if I pull it all the way back, it has, I believe, 7 stops of image stabilization. Just as I was about to walk over to the new spot, a belted kingfisher rattled and flew up across the river in a quick flash. While this moment provided nothing more than a distant shot, this encounter would foreshadow our later moment to come. On the way back, I stopped by a patch of brush to get a quick look at Phainopepla, a unique and one-of-a-kind bird for my area. I also made a stop soon after with Canada geese, and these 2 images taken from the exact same spot to show the drastic zoom range between 600mm and 60mm on this lens. Our next stop was an object that caught my attention. There was an orange buoy placed out in the middle of the river, and I wanted to see if I could use it to make any unique looking images with it in the background of my wildlife images, as it glowed a bright neon in the haze. As the birds swam by, I was able to capture a few at the right moments as they passed it and get some images I decently liked. None turned out quite like I envisioned, however, there were enough to make it worth my while. My favorite shot probably wound up being this of the Canada goose here, as it took a more creative liberty with the edit and went for a sort of cyberpunk style contrast between neon oranges and purples. As I was wrapping up these buoy images, I shifted my focus elsewhere as common goldeneyes started launching into flight up and down the river. This location is amazing to capture slow exposure images of waterfowl in flight, as they naturally take a path perpendicular to my position. This means if you can track them in your viewfinder, you have a much easier chance of nailing your shot.
There was also a fun encounter I had with a ruby-crowned kinglet in a bush nearby. This footage shows off the impressive 6 stops of stabilization on the far end once again, and the 7 stops of image stabilization on the wide end. Belted kingfishers are always so jumpy where I'm at. In the past, I've never had good luck with getting photos of them, whether that's waiting for hours in a fixed location or trying to gently approach them. But the best chance I ever had was about 2 years ago at this specific river. That was until now.
Okay, you guys, so we got a belted kingfisher out here. As I was walking over, I saw it kind of through the brush, and so I kind of crept out to this spot where there was an opening, and I got a good angle for it, and for some crazy reason, it did not mind. And these guys are always so flighty on me every time I come out here, so I cannot believe that this guy is okay with me right now. And very cool, I kind of showed in this first shot, I got like this image of kind of being at 600 millimeters and fully pulling back out to 60 millimeters to show that amazing 10 times optical zoom range of this Sigma 60 to 600 millimeters. And as I did that, it kind of dived into the water, popped back out, and then we got a shot of it popping into kind of a new snag out in the river. And then it popped up to a trunk where I got a really beautiful, gorgeous shot right there. And I'm really happy with that image right there. So very, very cool. Can't believe we got this moment today unexpectedly, and super excited to see if we can get something more.
We didn't get anything more after this, but what a moment this was. There seems to be this general consensus amongst bird photographers that kingfishers are just awesome. And I couldn't agree more. I got to watch it dive a few more times and fly to a few more perches after this, but none were as close and as good as that initial stump. As I walked away from the location, sure enough, my California quail flock I was expecting was just over the tiny ridge. I crept up close as safely as I could using a log as cover, and I recorded a few brief moments of the quail running by. These quail are always super skittish, so I know that if they notice me, they'll be gone in an instant. A car driving by scared them away about 2 minutes later, and they were off.
I really enjoyed my time today out with the Sigma 60 to 600 millimeter lens. It really offered all the quality that I expect out of a Sigma lens, and that 60 to 600 millimeter range really was useful in telling a great story as a wildlife photography filmmaker. And I've definitely enjoyed getting to use that to the fullest out in the field today. It was amazing getting to be out in nature. I hope you guys enjoyed your time with me as we got to see that belted kingfisher up close when I normally don't get to, and getting to capture those golden eyes flying by at slow exposure speeds down the river. Hope you guys are inspired to get out in nature as well, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see my in-detail review of the brand new Sigma 60 to 600 millimeter lens just released, check out this video in the end screen here.